What up? It's Joe again with another vid. Oh my god. Sorry if my eyes seem a little red and puffy. Allergies have been terrible so far the last couple days. But anyways, as you can tell by the title, I'm here to talk about Happy Gilmore 2. And I want to start out by saying I give props to Adam Sandler. I give props to Netflix. Just Adam Sandler over the years, he has to be one of my most favorite actors. That's my opinion, especially in his late '90s and early 2000 movies like Waterboy, Billy Madison, and some other ones I can't think of, and the original Happy Gilmore movie. Just, amazing movies, hilarious movies. And I want to give Netflix props too, because, this is also Happy Gilmore 2 is a Netflix film. And Netflix has been doing this a lot recently, where they go and pick up like second or third movies. They just did it with the Medea Vacation or whatever it was called. I watched that. That was pretty good, in my opinion. That, like I said, that's something Netflix also picked up. And then with Happy Gilmore, the original one, and like I said, well, I'll get into that. But like I said, the first Happy Gilmore, and then now the second one is a Netflix film. So I'll give them props. The prices are a little bit, but they got to make their money. And I'll say this: they're actually adding really good movies on there. So I'll give them that. But like I said, just the pricing. But it is what it is. But anyways, let's get into the actual movie. Right off the bat, one, they waited way too long to make Happy Gilmore 2, in my opinion. The first one was filmed in '96. And then, y'all obviously know how much the world has changed. Movies aren't filmed the same like how they used to be and stuff like that. So the movie coming from '96 and then making a part 2 2025, it's, so in my opinion, I feel like it would have aged better. Say they would have done a Happy Gilmore 2, I mean the 2010 era, and then filmed his young career from when he won, his first title in the first movie. Instead of just bam dropping a second one almost 30 years later. One thing I didn't like, there was a lot of AI and CGI or whatever it's called, but like I said, that's just the way movies are filmed now. And then so he has a whole family, obviously, I feel like that would have been something cool to kind of watch them grow up a little bit, say they would have dropped the second one in the 2010 era. But yeah, so he has a family. So, and like I said, this is where I give Adam Sandler his props. In every movie he's made, he's had, well, if I can talk, he's had his buddies in. I respect that. He pretty much put a lot of the known actors on, not gonna lie, but a lot of the funny ones and the ones that are in most of his movies, he always puts them on in some type of way. And then now what he's doing now that he's older, that I like, is he's putting his family in movies. He has his actual wife in this one and his 2 daughters that in real life in the movie too. So, you got to give him props where props are due. And like I said, in my opinion, he's one of the most funny and best actors, in my opinion. At least top 5 for sure on my list. But yeah, just got to give props where props is due. And then Happy Gilmore 2, it just kind of seemed like it was all over the place. So like I said, the cast was loaded. I'll give them that. They had Eminem, Travis Kelce, some actual golfers, some other big name guys, and then obviously his boys, some of his boys that he put on. Like I said, just 30 years later, making a second one, it just didn't age well. Like I said, there was a lot of AI and CGI that I didn't really like. And then there was this group, Maxi League, that tried to like come in and change golf. And like all that was like AI and like CGI and stuff. And like honestly, in the end, it was all like really corny, in my opinion. Like, I mean, like say you're trying to base the second one off of like the first one, it doesn't even come close. And then, like I said, Adam Sandler's getting older, and like I say, movies are just made different. So I can see him going like kind of away from that kind of stuff. But yeah, just overall, I probably rate Happy Gilmore 2 about a 5 out of 10. It really wasn't that good, and that's honestly probably being a little bit generous. In my opinion, it was just really corny. The start of the movie was cool. It was all right, but like towards the end was like I said, this Maxi group tried to come in and like change golf and stuff. And like I said, it was really AI and CGI, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. But you know, I'll say this: say you're like trying to watch it with your family or whatever. You know, I could see this being a good family movie, but say you're someone like me just to watch it, and like say you're someone that was kind of like trying to base it off of the first one, they're completely different. But I will say this: a lot of the cast from the first one that are still alive, unfortunately, because some of them obviously aren't still alive, unfortunately. But pretty much all the cast from the first one was in the second one. So like that part was cool, but just the overall story, and like I said, waiting almost 30 years to make a second one, you know. Like I said, this one would be like a perfect like Happy Gilmore 3, like a final send off, like farewell. But like I say, just for a second movie, and with it being 30 years later, it's, you know, just in my opinion, it wasn't that good. But like I said, it's like I said, say you have Netflix, it's on Netflix. And say you haven't watched the first one. The first one is also on Netflix too. I would highly recommend the first one. The first one I give like an 8 out of 10. The first one's amazing in my opinion. Don't get much better than that. But yeah. Say you have Netflix, like obviously watch it. Say you're someone debating to get Netflix. For Happy Gilmore 2 for whatever reason, I'd say no. But say you already have Netflix, which most people probably do, then I'll obviously recommend to watch it. But overall, you know, 5 out of 10. That's the rating I give it. So yeah, hope y'all guys enjoyed the video, and girls, whoever be watching the vids. And like, subscribe, comment, whatever, dislike it, and catch y'all later. Peace.